Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe for more content. Today I got a video that was requested by you guys a little while ago, and we're going to talk about bushcraft knives again. And you know, I've made a lot of videos on some knives and what my favorite knives are and some of the different ones I have. But a lot of you guys kept saying, hey, I'm on a budget, I don't have any money, the economy's insane, inflation's high. I want a bushcraft knife, but I don't have the money to go buy an LT Rite and spend 250 bucks. I don't have the money to go buy an SE and spend 150 bucks. I need something budget friendly, but I don't want a Mora or a plastic knife. I want a traditional bushcraft knife, but I just can't afford it. So I heard you, I listened to you. Here we go. I got a couple knives. This is going to be the first one. The second video I'm going to be making probably later on the week, so make sure you come back for that. But we're going to talk about this. And when I think budget, but decent quality or good quality, depending on which model, I think Condor. Condor, I've had tons of Condor knives before. Got this knife just for you guys to show you. And this is probably the cheapest, reasonable quality knife for budget. So let's talk about this knife, and I'm going to show you and do a little tabletop and kind of go over it and the pros and cons of it. And I'm going to kind of give you my impressions of it as somebody that has tons of knives between high quality, low quality, everything in between. We're going to talk about it and who this knife might be for and whether or not you should get this knife and spend your money on it. All right, so this is the Condor Bushcraft Camp Knife. It has a walnut handle, 1075, high carbon steel, Scandi grind. This is going to run you, depending on where you get it, Amazon between $65. I've seen these float around on eBay for around $50. As always, Condor has some of the best sheaths out there. Nice leather, smells really great. I've had tons of Condors. They last. They're really good. I will say this knife, if you're wanting a knife that's beefy, bulky, 90-degree spine, pretty decent. So let's talk about this knife. We're going to hop over here on the table. I'm going to do a tabletop for you and kind of go into the pros and cons of this knife and who it's really for. All right, so we talked about the price, we talked about the make of it and the materials. So this is just a basic plain Jane camp knife. It does have a little bit of a coating on it, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, hey, for a beginner knife, it's great, definitely smooth. It feels pretty decent in the hand. I mean, not the best in the world. It does have a swell on it up here, so that kind of fits up good. You know, it's a good cheap knife. I mean, for 55 bucks, I mean 65, you can't complain between the sheath and the knife. Definitely not too shabby. They market this as just their basic camp bushcraft knife. Nothing crazy, nothing, you know, phenomenal, no thrills. You know, not too bad finish for what it is. I mean, as you can see here, this one is a little bit higher on this side. Made in El Salvador is where they sub this work out. You know, I mean, like I said, it's just, if you're looking for a good fixed blade knife, full tang, just something for a camp knife to be your first one if you're on a budget, I don't think it's bad. I mean, is this something that I would carry every single day and use? No, but, you know, I have a little bit more higher end stuff. But for somebody just starting out, if you want a knife to give somebody, it's just very basic. And honestly, we've gotten kind of spoiled to modern knives with micarta, G10, all these fancy steels. This is very similar to what, you know, 150 years ago, just what you would see on every old guy that's out fishing or hunting or camping. This is just the knife they would use. I mean, this is just a plain knife for, you know, heritage bushcraft. I mean, it's not anything. It's just basic, and that's what they market it as. I do appreciate that Condor, they don't market this to be something that's not. This is just a basic run-of-the-mill camp knife. You know, I would not feel bad about batoning with this. Sharpness out of the box, not bad. It's actually not bad for right out of the box. I've gotten much sharper knives. I will say that, you know, you gotta be careful with wood because it will crack if you bust it. That's the disadvantage of wood over micarta. But honestly, it's not a bad knife, guys. I mean, if you're really struggling and you want something you can't afford, you know, the higher end stuff, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I wouldn't be, you know, if this was all I could afford, I wouldn't be ashamed. This is a good knife. Honestly, if I knew about these knives when I was a teenager, I would have bought this instead of some of this Chinese stuff crap that I bought online when I was a kid. You know, this is something that it'll do the job. Would I recommend this over all the other ones? I would probably steer you towards, I'd say this is on par with, I think the Bushlore is a little bit better made. It is about $10 more expensive. You can get the Bush Lore and micarta. I had that for a while, gave it to a friend of mine. And then obviously I'm going to do a review on, they make a Kephart version of this, which is actually in the mail right now, and I'm going to do a review on that for you guys. But for just a basic knife for somebody that doesn't have a lot of money and is on a tight budget, especially with the way things are now, there's nothing wrong with this knife. I mean, this is a knife, if I lost it or broke it or it disappeared out in the mountains, I wouldn't lose sleep over losing it. Yeah, it kind of looks a little bit like a steak knife, but that's a lot how they were back in the day in the style. And this is just a very simple camp knife, and I'd take this out in the woods, no problems. All right, guys. So if you like this quick video, make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Help me out with the algorithm. They changed the algorithm after the first year, so things are kind of crazy. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.